All right, guys, welcome back to the Nightlife Podcast. I am your host, Kevin.
And Dan here. What's up? Tonight we're also joined once again by our friend Jake.
What's up, guys?
Welcome to episode numero 5 of the Nightlife Podcast. Sorry we missed you again next week. We got a little busy with life, but hey.
We missed you again next week.
Wait, did I fuck that up?
It's okay, guys. I got this. So last week we had life come to us, and we weren't able to get a podcast out. So here we are now.
I apologize for my vocabulary, for I am very tired. I just got done with a 3 of 3, busy 3 shifts, so I'm like barely.
You know what? We miss you guys.
Yeah, we missed you guys. Thank you for coming in and tuning back to the podcast where we talk about healthcare.
But Kevin, it's okay because I mean the fact that we are, it's a nightlife podcast. Anyone who works overnight from one day to the next understands that they have no idea what the fuck day it is.
Oh no, yeah. I didn't know what day. I just know I start on a Sunday and it just feels like a Sunday for 3 days and then I'm off.
Actually,
Today, Dan didn't know what fucking month it was.
I had no idea, so I had to write down on a piece of paper what the date. I was like, oh, what's today's date? Because I had to sign the date on a paper, and they're like, oh, it's the 23rd, and I go, in my mind, I didn't want to sound stupid and go, wait, of what month? So in my mind, I was just like, wait, what month? I had to think it out to realize what the fuck month we're in.
Dude, I have to think out the time sometimes. I'm like, what time is it? I'm like looking, I was like, oh fuck, it's like 5 a.m. What day is it? Is it a Tuesday? Is it a Sunday? What day? Like, I literally don't know the days anymore.
I contribute part of me not knowing like people's like birthdays and shit. The fact that I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I honestly do, because like, how are you gonna know what day it is when you work through the night?
Exactly. It time switches. You're just like, oh, the day switches. Time's like all day. I'm like, what is? I like when I'm charting too. I'm just like, was it the 23rd? Was it the 22nd? Like I tried charting something.
At that point, like I don't even care what fucking day. Like I'll look up on my phone, like, oh, okay, cool. And like because of that, that is legitimately why I'm terrible with dates. I don't remember anything.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Charting gets annoying with, you know how like when you go to input something, it's like 11:59, turns 12 o'clock, and you go to put something about like, that you did 10 minutes ago, but it has the next day's date on it already.
Yeah.
And then daylight savings. Oh my god.
Or worse, fucking fall back. You're just like, oh, well, I'm working for 13 hours today. It's like, I don't know. It's
charting meds with daylight savings is really weird. Because it's like, I just gave this medication, I'm going to chart it, but now we're like back an hour. So technically, I gave this medication 1 hour in the future, and 10 minutes ago.
You got to tell your future self, start giving medication so early. Sorry about that bang, but
some little time traveling nursing here.
Speaking of time, do you know how like, okay, since all of us work night shift, like, do you guys ever take like, so if you ever work 3 in a row, for myself, I'll take a recovery day, which is today, where I just kind of sleep and like take all my energy back that I gave to the ER and all our patients and just recover it. Because
that's like the generic is like, people are always like, oh, like you work you work 3 days on, you have a few days off, that must be nice. It's like, well, no, that first day doesn't count. Hey, yeah, we're off, but like we're sleeping most of the day.
Well, yeah, and your day is also, your day is going to be spent sleeping because you get off on your off day. And normal people who work day shift, they can be like, yeah, I'm off, the next day I get to do all this. Night shift for like clock out at 7:30 in the morning, you're like, fuck, I gotta do all this shit today. And I gotta sleep.
Very true. And working 3 days a week is rough as a nurse, especially when you work 4 days a week. Like from my experience as a travel nurse for the last 3 months, I mean, working 4 days a week, there's no time for yourself at all. Like you might have 3 days off, but you feel like you have to get everything done within 2 days.
Exactly.
It's too much.
I don't know how those people do it who like work for 5 days in a row, like that they're always on. I was talking to somebody. We had one of our travel physicians, the admitting physician, and we were talking about that, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm on like 23 days straight."
That's just
That's a nightmare.
How did they
that's
even do that?
drugs.
I don't know. It's the way the travel thing. He's on for like 23 days straight, and then he was off for like 2 weeks or a week and a half or something like that. It was some absurd schedule, but he's like, I don't know how he fucking did it.
I mean, I kind of understand. Well, I mean, I've done like 5 days, 6 days straight, and like by the third day you're destroyed. By the fifth day, you just have this weird energy that you're like, I can do this. And the sixth day, you're mentally absent.
I know a 50-year-old nurse that only has 2 days off a month because he picked up 2 full-time jobs to, like, pay for his kids' college tuition and whatnot.
Wow.
But, like, working those hours, I look at him, I'm like, "Bro, you're having a better time than I am. Like, how do you do this?"
No, my mom does that too. She does like 6, 7 days straight as a travel nurse.
How?
Well, she's subacute med surg, but still, it's like I don't know. I think these. I don't know if the guy you're talking about is Filipino. These
No?
like Filipino older nurses. They know everything and they just do it. And it's weird.
I don't know. That's too much, man.
Well, I mean, if it's like, I don't know. I don't think ER nurses. I mean, and ICU nurses probably would just need those 3 days because it's a lot they have to deal with. If you're just like subacute or like med surg, maybe it's possible to do it. I don't know. I'm not on those floors, so I don't know how that nursing works really.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, some of these people are built like tanks. They're like, yeah, I just did like 10 days in a row. I'm like, what? I'm already
But
tired
you
hearing
also
that.
gotta look at, like, are we becoming weak as a generation?
Yeah, are
Because,
we?
like,
Like,
this 50-year-old man is working, like, literally 7 days a week, only has 2 days off a month, and he is fucking thriving, it looks like. And
yeah.
like, maybe he just has a really strong work ethic, but, like, at the same time, like, how do you even like, you're doing this for your family, but how do you have time to actually spend with your family?
Yeah, I mean, what are we? We're technically millennials, even though I absolutely hate being associated with that. That's that's what we were talking to our other friend who just started. She just became a nurse, and she was like saying something about the generations and the way they act as compared to the older nurses. And then we're trying to figure out like we're millennials. She's technically Gen Z because she's born in '97.
Oh.
I don't know, man.
It's kind of, it could be a generational thing. I mean, then again, like, if you look at the generations of nursing and healthcare, our generation, at least the millennial generation, we kind of identify our career path as a lifestyle choice as well. While like our parents identify their careers as a safe career will make you money and you can support a family.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more different, you know, in that sense. And I can see why, these people can do like 4, 5, 6 days straight because they're providing for someone or that's all they know and they're really fucking good at it.
That's
Yeah,
true.
they have regular scrubs and we have figs.
Yeah, I mean, even the figs thing is, to be honest, like that is
It's a lifestyle.
it's a lifestyle choice. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, figs are fucking comfortable, but
Warn them.
they just wear like the old school like scrubs, and it's just like
The
cool.
baggy
The
scrubs
baggy scrubs.
that don't really fit.
Yeah. I mean, I personally love my figs, all like my neutral colored figs, but they're super comfortable. I like wearing the joggers. I like wearing, everything like makes you look professional in its own sense, and they're comfortable as hell. I said like
Yeah,
that.
for the younger like, it looks crisp for people our age.
Yeah, it looks very, yeah, it looks crisp. It looks clean. It's not like
That's what I
weird.
think when I go to the ER. The first thing I want to think is, I hope this patient thinks I look crisp.
Well, for
Crispy.
me, like, here's the thing. Like, when I used to work at the hospital, you work at Dan, not a lot of people wore figs. Actually,
No.
I think I was the outlier. But if we come to my ER, everyone wears figs. Like, a lot of
Cali.
hospitals in the in LA at least, a lot of us all wear figs. Some people get like some of them actually the hospital will purchase figs and give it to them.
I
Like
mean, I started out at like I was wearing Cherokee, and it was kind of baggy, but I mean that's what it was. But then Figs came around, and like even the travel company I work with, like gave us a free gift of a scrub set, so it's Figs.
yeah, and
I don't know. They're
they're
just pricey. I guess that's never why I got them. Like I think I had Cherokee or something first, and I just tailored my own scrubs to fit me the way I wanted.
yeah.
Dan tailored mine too, yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. I forgot about that.
They were
Uh,
too tight.
I mean for for figs, I mean they're just because I've worn Cherokee before as well, and I wore the Grey's Anatomy scrubs when I first started as an ER tech. But the figs, man, they're just really comfortable. Like it just feels like you're in like sweatpants and you're working in sweatpants, and I feel like that adds to the mental aspect of work. You're comfortable, you look good. That means you can do good work. That's what I always said when I justified spending $80 on figs.
I kind of grasp that, not as much with the because like I said, I've never gotten figs, and I probably won't get figs. I did find a brand that I really like, um, crafted cut that fit me nice, and they're nice and stretchy and everything. But I have more that mentality with like the gear we carry, like so like our EDC that we have in in the ER and stuff. And I know we've talked about this, Kevin, a lot, like the Leatherman Raptors that I carry, and I carry an Olight flashlight and all that.
Fucking nerd. No, I'm just kidding. The only thing I carry nowadays is just the X shears on a holster. Which I actually got a couple compliments about, but it wasn't from like ER staff. It was from like the fire guys or like a couple of the cops. They're like, "That's really cool. Like, where do you get that?" I'm like, "Oh, these are X shears, you know." But
You guys are awesome because it sounds very responsible, and I don't even bring a pen when I come to the ER.
see, no, I love what I love about my ER is that they give us good pens. Like it's like the heavy ink, like good smooth pens, and they give me like all the Sharpies. So my backpack is filled with Sharpies and pens that I don't bring back to work.
I lose one pen a shift, so I can never do that.
I lose all my. No, I'm actually pretty good about keeping my stuff. I mean, I don't carry a flashlight anymore. I probably should get another pen light, uh, just cause I can do it in triage. But yeah, that's all I really carry. It's just my X shears and my pens.
Flashlight's useful. Like I carry it even like I have it at work, and then use it from everything from like using, looking at people's eyes to like looking in their mouth or something.
Yeah,
And I keep it in my pocket on the way home. And because I get home and it's still dark, I'm using the flashlight to walk up my driveway, like when it was winter. So I'm like looking where the ice is and stuff.
that's
Getting my
actually
key.
yeah. I mean, I feel like that could be a good addition to an EDC. I'll look. I mean, Olight, I don't really trust. They tend to blow up. Is what the science is bringing back from the research there, the research and development teams.
I am the research, and I've never had an issue with my Olight.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
You are the research.
you are the research team.
I'm not the research team. I am research.
You are the
'cause I've had-
consumer doing his own research on said product.
I am proof that Olight works great.
I mean, yeah, that's a. I mean, I know the brand.
I am OLED.
Side note, if
LGD.
this gets to Olight, if you guys want to like hit us up for maybe some sponsoring, that'd be
I'll
cool.
take any sponsor. I really don't care.
We actually did get sponsored. So I told the guys that we got sponsored. We're just waiting for all the fun stuff, the back end stuff to get situated with Anchor, our hosting site, and I'm actually pretty excited to just even have a sponsor. But it's pretty cool that our hosting site is gonna kind of help us out. I mean, we spread the word about Anchor on most of our podcasts anyway, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a little step, but like when Kevin texts us, he's like, "Guys, we have sponsor. We can get a sponsor now." I was like, "Oh, dude, this is like it's the next step. We're legit."
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mom, I made it.
We're actual people on a podcast.
We're
guys.
actually. I mean, we have. I looked at our analytics. Like 98% of our fan base or our listeners are from the U.S. And then we have like our 1% in the Philippines, which is, healthcare, nursing, pretty funny. And then we have our that other 1%, which I was like showing you guys, which was like from Russia.
Yeah, that's weird.
I was just a little weird. I'm not gonna divulge any secret information here, so no patient identifiers here, guys.
But why did Russia, out of like all places, start listening in?
I don't
Kinda
know.
weird.
Maybe it's just something that popped up. Again, we're very niche where it comes to like healthcare lifestyle, so it could just travel anywhere. We're not like we're not talking about like tech or anything like that. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
They probably searched on Spotify of like new bad healthcare podcasts, and we were the first one to pop up.
Probably they're like, well, we're gonna head over to Ukraine. Let's listen to a really shitty podcast, and ours came up. Probably like all the Russian nurses are just laughing, like these American nurses.
It's true.
But yeah, no, it was pretty cool to get a podcast. Now, like, let's say if I would love like Figs as a sponsor. I don't have to pay
Oh,
for.
that would be awesome.
That would be amazing.
You're asking too much.
You don't have to pay. You don't have to give us money. Just give us free scrubs.
You have to do stepping stones. You have to go something smaller. and
No,
then
Figs sponsors podcasts too. Like not
I
even
mean,
healthcare
hey, if
podcasts.
our first sponsor just keeps going, keeps upping that rate, you know what I'm saying? Then as we increase in our viewership, then I mean, hey, we can stick with the same one.
Yo,
yeah.
imagine Scrubs with the nightlife logo on it.
That's not that hard to do.
No, I
That's
know,
really
I'm
not hard.
just saying, like you were saying with the sweaters, I kind of want to start wearing that. People will be like, "Oh, what's on your Scrubs?" It'd be like, "Funny you should ask." Turn around, there's a big QR code on my back.
Oh my god.
Listen, to my podcast.
Dan, one of these
And-
days I will gift you a pair of Figs. I don't know if you can wear them at work, but I
As
know
long
you
as they're-
guys have a uniform code. We don't.
as long as they're blue.
Okay, yeah. I'll gift you a pair. I'll spend that money because it's
Like that
to be honest, after I
big-
got them, I never came back. I never went back to the old Scrubs or boxy Scrubs. You just feel good. Like-
Once you go Figs, you never wear your old digs.
Wow.
Wow, that was.
Yeah, you just made the
that
new
was-
slogan for fucking
yeah.
Figs, dude.
I know, dude. And
I
I
know,
mean,
they're
okay.
yeah.
normal.
I know there was that weird controversy with Figs and how they portrayed DOs or doctors of osteopathic medicine. That was really stupid on their part. I know.
Wait, what was it?
They had
remember
a commercial of a Figs model. I don't know if she was a DO or not, but she was walking up with Medicine for Dummies handbook upside down. And it kind of just it sent a really bad what do you call it, image out there, stating that DOs are not smart because she had a DO tag on her hip. So it wasn't the smartest thing they did. They recovered from it. They apologized. Let's try not to do that shit again. But yeah, that was like that weird controversy with them.
Well, I guess we're not getting sponsored by Figs anymore, Kevin.
Hey, I said they apologized. No, I mean, but yeah, this just dating back to just going back to being comfortable at work. Like Figs is pretty good because I there's a lot of other scrubs out there. Like there's what Janu, I don't know.
I have a pair of Janu.
How are
and
they?
They're all right, but they're not stretchy like the Fig scrubs are. Like, I'll be honest.
They're not Figs.
Yeah, they're not Figs, obviously. They're Janu. But I did have a pair, and while I was pretty lean, they fit just fine. But as I started to gain a little bit of weight, I mean, they did not fit anymore. You can't stretch that shit out. You know?
Yeah.
It just wasn't working.
You really need that
So I had to
stretch, too.
retire them.
I mean,
the scrubs I had before were not stretch, and then once I switched to these that are stretch, I can never go back to the other ones.
oh yeah, no, especially like with Figs, you can.
Yeah, dude. It's
you
like
can do
Figs
yeah.
realized.
Yeah, Figs
It-
realize
Figs realized that we're doing more than just standing.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. We're not playing
playing
cards.
as a nurse, you're doing everything. You're lifting patients off the floor sometimes. And you need to bend to do that. If you can't bend, then you're stuck. You can't really do much.
Exactly. And when you got to empty out a patient's Foley, you got to do that Foley squat. And you're just like,
Yeah, if I
Yeah.
rip my pants, then like I'm not buying your scrubs again. you
Yeah.
know?
I was actually thinking the last time I crawled into the back of like the car to get the guy out, the overdose, and I was like, man, if I had
Oh
my
my
own
God.
scrubs, these would have ripped.
I've done that twice.
yeah. And with Figs, your pants don't rip. They stretch with you while you're pulling people out of a car because they overdosed.
Definitely. Yeah.
And they're really good at moisture wicking too. I mean, I've spilled water on my figs. I've been peed on once, but I wasn't wearing figs. I
Oh
was
my
wearing
god.
the weird Cherokee stuff.
Like on accident, you mean, right?
Yeah, it happened at the old hospital. Yeah, this patient was unconscious, but somehow, some way, we were undressing him, and he just decided to pee on me. I was pretty pissed. I had to go upstairs to surgical floor to get new scrubs. I was wearing the light green scrubs. Remember the light green surgical scrubs at the hospital?
You know what? It's kind of bad that Jack's not here to possibly defend himself a little bit, but he told us a story today. We should get him a pair of scrubs for the moisture wicking component, because he was telling us how he was flushing a suprapubic catheter and it just all sprayed back at him. And he's like,
That's
I
unfortunate.
immediately smelled like urine. I was walking down the hallway and he's like, you notice anything different? I was like, yeah, where's your shirt? So we should get him some scrubs for that.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, and then
hopefully.
he was saying like, oh yeah, and the guy was like, oh yeah, that happened to me too. Like, thanks for the warning.
Oh my god. Yeah. That sucks. Yeah, no, but I mean, with figs, yeah, there's a lot they do right, and I can start to see why they have that higher price tag. But I like them. I really like them. They're comfortable. They have great colors.
But
If
they
you
don't. I haven't seen, because I like that slim fit, like that slim taper, but I don't like the elastic band around the ankle that joggers have. Like, I like the fit of joggers, just not the elastic band.
they got rid of those, they just
Alright,
have like normal
the
joggers now.
band?
Oh,
Yeah,
did
the
they?
band,
Yeah.
no.
I
But
have
they
both.
do have like the elastic that's like a good like 3 inches long, I guess,
Yeah.
that go at the bottom of your ankle. It's not a band.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a band. Some of them have the band. Some like the dark green one I
Canoe.
have. They have the band, but the Tansen jogger pants, they don't have. They have what Jake was saying, that three, like that normal cuff that joggers have.
Yeah.
Which again, those are my favorite. But the downfall about those that I don't like is they don't have cargo pants, like cargo pockets, so everything's in my pockets. That's why I started carrying less at work. Like I'll have pens, shears, knife, ID. That's it.
Well,
That's
that's the other thing with the scrubs I found, because I found them on Amazon, and they're amazing. They're like perfectly thick, so they're not gonna like tear or anything if you get them caught. But they're super stretchy. But the scrub top doesn't have the two like waist pockets, which I always used to like religiously keep gloves in the left one and like meds or papers in the right one. So I had to adapt to having no pockets there. Instead, it has like a zipper pocket that goes from like my right chest all the way to my back. Like, it's so deep for no reason. But yeah, those front pockets, I miss them. But I've kind of gotten so used to not having them, it's almost not even an issue anymore.
See, for me, I use so my figs have two pockets on the left breast pocket, who they're like on top of each other. So I don't have the like the waist pockets. I've never used those type of scrubs because I like to tuck my figs in, and look like a doctor. But everyone does that now, so hey, figs started something there. But yeah, no, I mean they give you enough pockets to hold the bare minimum. Um, if you're not going to be preparing for like IV start kits and all your shit, just gonna grab it, put it in your pocket, and use it, and then go back. But I mean, like I said, the comfortability is really good there.
Holy shit, I'm looking at them right now, and this is my scrubs. They're exactly like this. I have off-brand figs.
So I mean, yeah, I mean that was
You
bound to
didn't even
happen.
know.
I mean, I can tell you which type of scrub from Figs I've been using. I've been using the Lee on top and then the Tansen jogger band. That's what I've been using for years now.
So I noticed that we were just talking about the equipment that we use. When you guys first started in your jobs, how much equipment, and name them, that you actually wore to your job?
For me, I would use Leatherman Raptor shears, G2 0.7 millimeter pens, Sharpies, flushes in the right pocket, gloves in the left pocket, Spyderco tactical knife in the back right pocket. Didn't use a stethoscope at the old job. Still don't use one here, but Yeah, that was really it. And and the Streamlight pen light, which was given to me by my good friend Art.
Right.
Yeah,
What
that
about
was
you, Dan?
I'm trying to remember the name of the scissors that I got. I think I gave you a pair too.
But you had scissors. What else?
So yeah, no, I had trauma shears and they worked amazing. Then I switched now to the Leatherman Raptors.
Okay,
I
you
used to
still carry them.
yeah, I used to carry a Pilot G2 pen and a regular ballpoint because I would take notes and write like stuff down with the Pilot because I like the gel ink. But the labels we had to sign, it would smear on that, so I had to have a ballpoint too. Um, Started with Lippmann stethoscope, and now I have my um MDF one because it's camo and it's longer, which it really comes in handy. You have extra reach. Um, what else did I have? I'd carry a notebook with me, just like a generic flexible notebook that fit
Okay,
perfectly in
so
my
you
cargo
carried
pocket.
a lot, basically, is what
yeah,
you're
you
saying.
carried a lot, bro.
Flashlight.
When you first started,
And I started with my my O light.
how
I
long did it take you to not carry all of that?
No, I've upgraded and if anything, carry more. I carry a Sharpie with me now too.
In the ER,
I don't carry the notebook.
and you
Yeah,
still have a
because
stethoscope.
dude, I was prepared for literally any situation, medical or non.
All right, let me tell you something. I started with a Lippmann stethoscope. I would bring 3 pens to work. I had always with me just like printed out little assessment sheets that I would bring to work every day, just so I can like organize what I'm writing down. I would bring some Raptors, some shears,
Yeah.
and I think that was it. But like, what I'm telling you is 3 months in, I dropped all of it. Like, I stopped bringing all of that to work because I realized that we don't use all of it that much.
No,
Like, the
not
shears
really.
come
Yeah.
in handy, but somebody always has shears in your department, so you're just like, "Hey, can I borrow those?"
But see, my thing was I was the person who always had the shears.
Oh, you
Like
were that guy.
I
Okay.
was the one people would be like, "Oh, you got
You
this?"
were
"Yeah,
the
I got
one.
you." I was the one.
You were the
I
one.
mean,
Okay.
there's a fine line between being prepared and being a weird guy with all this shit. And trust me, I was that guy too. But
When you first start, you have to be because you have
yeah,
to like, I'll also add a pen light. I dropped that shit real quick too.
yeah, I still don't
Because
see
you know
what's
what? The flashlight on your phone works just as well.
Yeah, but
it really
here's
does.
the thing. Here's the thing. If you're doing like something where you're gloved up, I don't want to take out my phone, touching my personal phone to turn on my flashlight. I have my O light, which is waterproof. I can wash it off and like not have to worry about it. It's a single click. It's small. I can put it down, wash it off afterwards. It's not my personal phone. I don't want to like get that dirty.
Well, that's good too, but also like the apartment I work in always has lights above the bed that you can use.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're checking like specific pupil dilation in triage, which I still use my phone. Like
Here,
It is much
prestige.
like you can always just simply, if you double glove, take off your first set, or just change your gloves. It's
or
not that big of a
yeah.
deal.
Or you can use a biohazard bag, put your phone in there, and then because you can still use a phone screen through the biohazard bag. A
That's
lot of
something that I've been seeing, like a lot of ICU nurses have been doing.
yeah.
I
So I
think
Like
mean,
even my
COVID did
friend, she's been like using a biohazard bag and sealed it on her phone, and she can still use it. It's amazing. Honestly, I don't know how
I
she figured that out.
I did that with COVID. It was a big thing with COVID. Everyone was putting their phones in bags.
yeah, I gave no shits. I just had my phone in my pocket. I was pretty good at wiping my phone down during COVID, but now I just take off the case and put a new one on there, like
Um,
my at home case.
the medical shears were Prestige Medical Fluoride Scissor. They're just a generic Amazon one, but they work so good. That's the one I compared to your Raptors at the time. I cut a penny in half, and then you tried to cut it with the Raptors, and like you were like, I can't get it.
Yeah, no, that
I'm
was
gonna
weird. I didn't like that.
I'm gonna tell you guys my schedule when I walk into work every day.
All right, you do that. I'm gonna go
So
pee. Just keep going.
you do that. What I do is I walk into work, I immediately stop by triage, I grab the free pens that they have there.
You're
They
one of
have like
those.
literally like
You're
a
one of
box of
those
100
fucking
pens. I
people.
take one of them. I walk back into the ER, and any situation that arises, I can always just adapt at that point. I have my free paper from the printer. blank. I have my pen. I know it sounds very disorganized to people, but I mean, like, this is the ER. This is what happens. No stethoscope. If I need it, I can grab one of the free ones from the Omnicell. And if I need a pen light, I have lights above the bed. I have a flashlight on my phone.
Here's a scenario.
Okay.
You walk in, you grab steal your pen from the abundance of pens. Somebody rushes in with a patient who, let's say, wraps something around their neck in efforts to strangle themselves, and it needs to be cut off immediately. You have to go run and get scissors or
Yo,
something.
Jeff, I need your shears now.
Jeff's not there. Jeff's in the bathroom, just like
Yo,
Kevin.
Dan, I need your scissors now.
Well, I'm not in the hospital. You are.
Bare hands.
Nope.
What do
Nylon
you mean, nope?
rope. You can't rip through nylon rope, man. Webbing.
Okay. Like, was he hanging himself from the fucking ceiling?
Hanging himself from. You know what? He's doing something. Point is,
Okay, well,
with the
nothing
scissors
my
on
bare
you,
hands with my strength can't fix.
zero hesitation. You just cut. Comes in handy, man.
It definitely could come in handy. And I'm not saying I'm right for not having it. I'm just kind of showing you that I can always just borrow from somebody if I need it.
I guess. You moocher.
I mean, you can call me a moocher all you want, but the thing
You
is,
moocher.
a moocher all you want. But the thing is, one day, I mean, like back when I used to carry my scissors, I left them on the desk in a very small hospital, in a small ER with only a few people working, and they went missing. And it was the pair that you actually gifted to me.
Then that's
So,
the yeah, that was the prestige ones I gave you. It's that's the people you work with then. If your gear goes missing,
well, yeah, if your gear goes missing, I mean, like, mine did go missing, and that's why I honestly stopped carrying so much stuff with me, and also how the doctors sometimes would come down and borrow a stethoscope and then forget to return it. And like, I guess not knowing that those cost like sometimes like upwards of $100.
yeah,
And that is just ridiculous. And like you can just walk off the unit with that. So I stopped bringing things that were worth so much money to work because if you simply forget there, like you left it there one day, then somebody else could take it.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
that's why I stopped bringing things that were so expensive, equipment, my own equipment to the ER. Because
you
now I
also
can just borrow the simple stethoscope from the Omnicell if I really need it. And you can use a flashlight above the bed or your phone, whatever. You don't need a pen light exactly, but you know, because that's easy for me personally to misplace. And my shears, I mean, like they go missing as soon as somebody says, "Can I borrow those?" I make sure to give them back all the time. But like one time I almost lost a set, you know what I mean? Like it's not good either. But it does go missing, you know, and like I would rather not spend money.
Oh yeah,
but do you
no.
also know the beauty of this, like these polar opposites of me, where I like to have everything on me, and you, where it's like more minimalist? Is that that's like us ER? It's exactly that though. There's one person who's prepared, or not necessarily prepared, but
Oh,
one
I was gonna
person
say,
who
like,
has
what are
like
you saying?
everything at the ready, and the other one who may not. But it's like, again, with that teamwork, Jeff, give me your scissors or
It
whatever.
always comes down to teamwork.
Yeah, it's always gonna be
For
teamwork
me,
no matter
I
what.
personally know that I can always adapt and overcome any situation. So if you have that mindset, you can do whatever you need to do quickly if you know exactly what you're doing.
Do you know what I really want to do though? Because
What do you want to do?
me and Kevin always talked about like the gear and stuff more that we carry. I don't know if you've ever watched a guy on YouTube, Taylor Martin. He has a thing called Best Damn EDC, and there's a website, and I'm looking at it right now. I pulled it up here, where they post pictures of like pocket dumps. Essentially, for those who don't know, EDC is everyday carry. A pocket dump is whatever you have on your person at that time, and you just kind of like look at like, oh, is it this particular knife or this type of wallet or etc. I want to do a medical one of those.
That'd be cool, but I mean, like what Jake said,
During the shift, yeah, that'd be
yeah,
pretty
during the
cool.
shift. I mean, I've done that during shift. Like I sent that on Instagram, but I don't carry a lot anymore. Like the only thing that's the most important to me that I need are for me are my X shears and my ID badge. and a
You
pen.
can't go wrong with a pair of shears. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. That probably is the
Here.
most helpful thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's it because I cut orthoglass. I mean, you know, I do my splints. I gotta cut tegaderm sometimes. All that fun shit. But I mean, that's the most important thing to me. To be honest, my badge. Like, if I don't have my badge, like, I freak out. Like, sometimes I'll walk from my car, like, get to the front door at work, and then like my badge, and I sprint back to the car. That's important because you need the badge into everything. So that's like my most important EDC at work is my
Yeah,
badge.
God forbid you forget your badge one day and you live an hour away.
Oh, dude. Oh my gosh. People do that a lot more. It's like, how do you? Because I leave mine in my car, or if I like somehow forget to take it off, like I'll attach it to my backpack. You know.
But here's the thing too.
Right.
Even with those like, lesser of items, even like that I break down more. Like my badge, I'm very specific about what type of holder's on it and what like lanyard and stuff. Like I have that because those little generic cheap pull string things always fucking break.
Oh yeah, no, those are gonna break.
Now I have
yeah.
the that North American Rescue Scissor Leash that's meant technically for trauma shears, but
You've had that for years. You've had that
because
since I was working with you.
because that thing stands the trial of time.
Yeah.
Almost since the beginning. It's like a metal cable and thing's nearly indestructible. And now I have a plastic ID holder, which has been working great because the plastic one kept breaking.
You just said you had a plastic ID holder, and which is great because the plastic one keeps breaking.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I have a hard plastic one now
Oh.
because like that like thin plastic, the piece you attach it at kept ripping. This hard plastic one now the ID slides in sideways and it's been working pretty good.
See, like that's cool. That was me in the beginning. Like I had like a plastic holder, all that cool shit. The only thing that I have is like my lanyard or my leash or whatever you call it. It's pretty heavy duty. It's a steel cable one. But like my badge has like 80 stickers on it. And I blacked out my name and my picture because I deal with like gangs. So and psych. So everything on my badge is and my identifier is ripped off. Like it just says E instead of EMT. Like my badge is pretty gnarly right now, and I like it because you know we have a sticker of the day every day to see if you got your temperature checked. And since I have all the stickers, I don't have to get any new ones.
Wait, you guys check temp still?
Yeah, it's still in policy. The only thing that's changed for COVID is that we stopped wearing eye protection. But no.
During the height of COVID, like this winter, like we were supposed to wear a mask, a face shield, and goggles into the rooms. And there's a lot of people not wanting to do all that for every patient. Which is understandable because
yeah.
like if a patient shows no symptoms, I mean, not a lot of people are gonna like go all out for it. So it was causing a lot of concern among the nurses because like there wasn't even enough supplies to do all that. So how are
Exactly.
you gonna enforce that?
Yeah, I mean, this last winter, this last COVID wave, it got the Omicron wave was pretty fun because
Omicron.
Omicron, whatever, Megatron, whatever kind of wave we're in now.
Omnicron.
The Decepticon wave.
Omnicell. Anyways, yeah, like it was because there was that weird time in the summer or the months for us in California leading up where everyone's just kind of wearing surgical masks in the ER again, and then slowly and surely people with respiratory symptoms started coming in, and like I would just throw on an N95 in that room and then just take it off and then put it around my neck or something, and then go back to a surgical mask. But then once it peaked, you know, we were back in surgical masks, but that was it. Like back in N95s and surgical masks, but not a lot of people wore the face shields. Maybe goggles if needed. If it was like a bad day, I wore goggles. But and nowadays we just surgical mask, N95 if needed, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, right.
Cause man, like those masks, those N95, they give you like the worst like post nasal drip. At least for me, cause like it's on me and like it just causes everything to like drip. Like my nose is always dripping and sniffling a lot more than it usually is, and it's like I hate this thing.
Obviously, you feel like you can't breathe. I mean, that's just a normal side effect of it. And
Mm.
they're so uncomfortable with like they're to the point where like your skin breaks down from the edge of the mask.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't have. I mean, we're not doing a video podcast, but I was wearing it for a couple hours yesterday. My like nose and my like cheeks are still breaking down from it. Like,
A lot of people got mask knee.
I say what again?
Mask knee.
That never has
Mask
come.
acne.
Oh,
Acne
mask
that
knee.
occurs from wearing a mask.
Oh, well, that's a new thing that
So
I just heard of
around
now.
the rim of the mask, a lot of people are getting acne from it.
Ah,
You know, it's also bad when you sneeze or burp in the mask.
Well,
I every time I sneeze, I just change my mask out.
We have one of our night shift PAs. He's hilarious. The other day, and he's done this before. He gets like allergies from wearing the mask. He gets runny nose and stuff. And the other day he sneezed. And all of a sudden from like the doctor's room, you just hear him go, "Oh my god, I'm drowning."
Oh man.
I
Loud
love
sneeze that
sneezing
he
in the
yells
mask
out.
because like you don't have to cover your face. You just you just fucking let it go, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. You're like, "Achoo! Ah." And then you're like, well, I gotta go blow my nose, change my mask out. But I mean, the cool thing is, and a lot of people have been saying this now that the pandemic is technically on its way out.
I just
COVID.
heard there's another variant of Omicron that's like surging.
Yeah, but we're gonna start seeing that most likely hopefully, and just in the respiratory season. It's just gonna be like the flu. In what I think. Like then again, I'm not Dr. Fauci, so I'm not gonna be saying that this is where it's gonna happen. But
We are not infectious disease
yeah, we're
doctors.
not infectious disease doctors.
But if
But
you'd like me to teach you about cycle threshold, I can.
we'll save that for another podcast, and we'll bring in.
What's the map, Dan?
Yeah, what's the
What's
map?
the map?
What's the map? CVICU nurse Dan over here will tell you everything about cycle
Criteria, just keep
threshold.
above 65 right now.
Ah, shit. Let's pump that
It's
Levo
above
up.
65, but what's the map?
What's your protocols for titrating Levophed at your hospitals?
My protocol at, well, I can't tell you what the hospital is, but
Yeah.
the hospital I'm currently at, I think what it currently is, because it changes a lot,
Yeah.
every 2 to 3 minutes you can upgrade by 1
Oh, that's a
or
lot.
something like that.
Is it 0.01? Cause my hospital, it's every Q15. You can go up by 0.01.
No, we changed the time to like 2 to 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean that's good in the sense of like a hypotensive shock patient, but what about you, Dan?
We're technically sister hospitals, so
So same protocols.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean we've been diving into it. I've been diving into a lot of the Levophed protocols and how it affects you, hemodynamically and your pressure and all that fun shit. Because we've been just seeing a lot of hypotensive shock patients or just hypotensive patients recently. We just kind of put them on Levo if like a fluid bolus isn't working or isn't maintaining that pressure at all. But yeah, that was a weird little like just intersection there where we got a little clinical. But
Let me tell you, I had, and I can't for the life of me remember what this med was, but I had a medication that was titrate Q1 minute.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every minute.
I mean, I feel like it would probably be towards blood pressure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was, but it was like a super critical patient. I was 1-to-1. No, I wasn't 1-to-1 with them, because I had other patients that needed me. But yeah, it was like a Q1 minute, and I was like, I can't do this, because I couldn't leave the room.
Yeah. No,
Right.
yeah, because it's Q minute. Like that's a lot,
Even
man.
the Q5 minute meds, it's a pain when you're like, I just gotta go medicate this other person, but like I have to adjust this.
That's when
By
it
the
should
time
be
I get
just
to
a
grab the med,
one-to-one patient
medicate me.
then. If you're gonna be doing that much.
Yeah, in the ideal world.
Yeah, ideal world, but you're gonna
Sad reality, sometimes even like 1 minute would actually be therapeutic for the patient because if their blood pressure is tanking and you're calling the doctor and they're like, "Oh, we'll be there in 5 minutes," you still have to care for that patient until they get there. And at that point, maybe you really need to increase that, you know, Levophed dopamine. You actually need to like keep throwing on these pressors so that their blood pressure stays afloat.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how it is, you know. Sometimes there was actually a nurse who titrated way too quickly and got in trouble for it. That's why I brought up the protocols because I think we had a huddle meeting. He's a traveler too. It's like, yeah, he went from like 0.1 to 0.2 in an hour, and I'm like, maybe in your protocols that'll make sense, but for my hospital, they're very strict on Levophed titration, and it's like, you know, pretty weird. Just wanted to know your guys' like protocol.
1 hour?
Yeah, so from point
That,
1 to point
there's no
2.
way.
Yeah.
An
That seems like
hour?
way too long of a gap.
That is huge. A huge gap.
Because we're titrating 0.01 every Q15. So he jumped from
got you.
Yeah, 0.1 to 0.2 in an hour. Technically, you should be at 0.44, maybe 0.5, 0.05 on your drip, your titration if your pressure isn't going back up.
Yeah, if it's Q15, that makes sense.
Yeah. But, you know, that's just, you know, again, hospital protocols and all that fun shit. Okay, but anyways, sorry, I'm checking out like Levophed titration protocols in different hospitals, and it's just like, whoa.
I mean, even when I worked at a different hospital, it was kind of like the same thing, to be honest. There's only a few minute gap. I think at one point it was 15 minutes, and they changed that real quick to like 2 or 3 minutes.
Well, I mean, I understand that. Yeah, I see. Because if you have like a critical patient who's tanking, like that titration can definitely help.
Yeah, you really have to know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's why we go to school for it.
Yeah, exactly, man. Can't have people not knowing what they're doing. I mean, that's why, you know, I'm grateful again for the team that I've had in this ER and my past ER, because, you know, I'm able to learn so much in my span there. So that's just a great part of you know, teamwork, making the dream work, and just understanding who wants to learn, because people love to teach. Not me, but actually no, I actually found that I do like teaching too. Like when it comes to new EMTs who come straight out from the academy and they want to learn more like the clinical side of things, and I take what I've learned from these people who've taught me and, you know, really break it down for them, like, and it's nice to see that you know, that they want to learn, they want to understand what's going on, and, you know, the benefits of doing that definitely helps out the team in general.
It does. It's always nice having somebody that wants to learn.
Yeah. And that's the great thing. I think that's what you know, coming from a teaching hospital, or even and even being in my ER now, it's just nice.
Yeah.
But guys, I think we're approaching our 50-minute mark. Is there anything you guys want to say? I feel like this will be a good time to end the podcast. We really talked about a lot, to be honest. Coming from no topic to just from FIGS to your EDC to how we're doing, and to, well, we got a little clinical with the titration of Levophed.
Just remember to always carry your scissors and flashlight.
Always carry those shears on you.
Trauma shears at the least. Flashlight.
Even if you work med surge, bring those shears to work.
I don't think they do. It's only ER and ICU that really have shears, and it's mostly just ER because we have to cut off stuff or like cut stuff up anyway.
Nah, you'd be surprised, man. You go on a floor, you'll see nurses that have shears.
Yeah, it depends on the hospital again. I mean, med surge maybe not so much. Telemetry, DLU, all the intensive care units. Yeah.
Carry your shears so I can use them.
Yeah. See, carry your shears so Jay can use them, or just find
Thank you.
Dan or I, and we'll help
Always
you
be
guys out.
prepared for the ones who aren't.
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, that's just
I love you guys.
Love you. All right, but guys, thank you again for joining, tuning in for this week's podcast. We really appreciate it, and we really value your guys' support, and we really are thankful for you guys to come in and just hang out with us for about 45 to an hour. So you can catch us at the Nightlife Podcast on all of our social media, on YouTube, and we do air Sundays at 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and Eastern Standard Time. So we'll catch you guys next week, and thank you for tuning in.
See you guys around.